Hi friends, it's Miss Leslie and I'm so glad to see you guys again. Earlier today for Circle Time, we talked about it and we saw some cool videos about something that some insects go through, or insects and animals, not just insects. Can anybody think or remember the word that we use to describe the cycle that they go through? Does anybody remember? Take a minute to think. If you know it, say it out loud. It starts with the letter M. That's right, metamorphosis. The cycle that some animals go through to change is called metamorphosis. It starts with the letter M. Let's spell it out together. metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. And not everything goes through metamorphosis, but it's a very, very cool cycle. So here I have a picture of what looks like a kid and an adult. And when we start off, you might think that maybe we go through metamorphosis because we start off as babies when we come out of our mommy's bellies and then we grow into adults. But that's not exactly metamorphosis. Metamorphosis has to be something that goes through a very drastic change. You see, when we're born with one head and two arms and two legs, two eyes and a nose. What else? Hair, that's right, two hands. So everything that we have as an adult, we already have when we come out of our mommy's bellies as a baby. And it's the same thing with some animals like cheetahs or elephants or even maybe bunnies that come out or some things that come out of an egg like little chicklings, right? You might think that that's metamorphosis, but even little chicks when they come out, all they have to do is they grow in their feathers, just like we grow in our hair. Some babies are born without hair, and then they grow hair and maybe teeth, right? Because we're born without teeth, and then we grow our adult teeth after we lose our kid teeth. But that's not metamorphosis because we're already born with all of those things. We don't go through anything drastic. We basically look the same as we're born, except maybe a little bit bigger, right? As we grow into adults. But these animals, so we have a butterfly and we have a frog. Those are the most popular things that go through metamorphosis because our butterfly starts off as eggs and so does our frog, but they look completely different when they grow up, and so does the frog. The frog looks completely different once it's done going through metamorphosis. So when they first come out, they don't look anything like what they're gonna look like after they go through the process of metamorphosis. So that's why these animals and insects go through metamorphosis, but not everything goes through metamorphosis. So let's start off with the butterfly. Our butterfly starts off as eggs, right? So something has to lay them. So it's going to be a butterfly. A butterfly is going to go around and it is going to lay eggs. And once it lays eggs, that's when our metamorphosis cycle begins. It'll lay eggs usually on a leaf, and then it'll be there. The eggs will be there for about 4 days. And after 4 days, they will hatch and they will turn into a caterpillar. And that caterpillar is called larva. And the caterpillar it will be a caterpillar for about 2 weeks. But what it has to do, it has to eat. So it eats mostly leaves and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Can anybody think of a story where that happens? That's right, the very hungry caterpillar. It starts off as a caterpillar and it's so hungry, so it goes through days and days eating food until it gets into a big fat caterpillar, right? But that doesn't happen to us. Even if we eat and eat, we might get bigger, but we don't turn into something else. So the caterpillar, after it gets bigger from eating, it goes ahead and it turns into a chrysalis. Okay, so it goes inside, wraps itself up, and it stays in there nice and still for about 10 days. And after it's a chrysalis for about 10 days, it pushes and it wiggles. So it's a nice little chrysalis at first, wiggles and makes its way out into a beautiful what? Butterfly. That's right, into a beautiful butterfly. So it slowly comes out. It doesn't come out fast, right? It doesn't just pop open out of its chrysalis and come out. It takes about 4 hours for our butterfly to go ahead and completely come out of its chrysalis. And once it's out of its chrysalis, it takes about 6 weeks for its wings to completely dry and spread and then go off, be a butterfly, and fly around, right? And that's why we see so many butterflies in the spring. Now, you want to know something else that's really cool about butterflies? You can see it in any butterfly. Anyone that you see. There's lots of different kinds of butterflies with all different kinds of patterns and colors and textures. But all butterflies are something that we call symmetrical. Can you guys say symmetrical? Symmetrical. That's right. Does anybody know what symmetrical means? I don't know. If you said symmetrical means it's the same on one side as it is in the other, well, kiss your brain, because you were right. Symmetrical means that things are exactly the same on one side as it is on the other. So for example, us humans, if they cut us in half this way, the long way, we are symmetrical because we have one eyebrow here, one eyebrow here, one eye here, one eye here, right? So you have the same thing on the left side as you would have on the right side. You would have one nostril of your nose on the left side, one nostril on your right side, right? You would have one hand, fingers and arms on one side and the other one on the other side. But if you cut us in half this way, then we're not symmetrical because we have our head up top and our feet at the bottom, right? So they're not symmetrical that way. But butterflies are too. There's some insects and animals that are not symmetrical if you in the pattern that they have because they just look different or have different textures. But butterflies are symmetrical, so if you cut them right in half, they look exactly the same on one side as they do on the other side. So here my little butterfly that I drew has a purple dot on one side, on the right side, so it has a purple dot on the left side. It has 3 green polka dots on one wing, so it has 3 green polka dots on the other wing. So they are symmetrical because they are the same. So that is our whole entire life cycle of a butterfly. Isn't that cool? Look at how amazing it looks, but they look completely different. The caterpillar looks completely different than the butterfly does. Isn't that amazing? It's still the same thing, but it looks absolutely, completely different. How cool is that? And then we have the frog, which kind of goes through the same thing. So it starts by laying its eggs, and you know what? The mommy lays is eggs, but the daddy takes care of the eggs to make sure that there's no predators or bad things that eat them. After that, it goes, it hatches, and it turns into a tadpole, right? And look at that. It kind of looks more like a fish than it does a frog at this time because it has a tail, right? And then it grows gills because tadpoles need to be underwater, not like frogs. Most frogs can be outside of the water and they're absolutely fine, right? They're kind of like fish. Fish cannot be underwater. They can be underwater. They should only be underwater because if they're not underwater, what happens to them? Ugh, that's right. They'll die. So we don't want that, right? We need to keep them underwater. So after that, they'll be a tadpole for about 8 to 6 weeks. Okay, and they have a tail. So then they're still a tadpole because they're still called that, but they start to grow arms and little legs, and their tail starts to get shorter. And what happens is that it absorbs back into its body because it's a good source of its nutrients, so the frog can use it to grow. It's good for it. Okay, and then after that, after 4 weeks, Then finally, it is a big frog. And now it has full legs, full arms. Its tail is absolutely no longer there. And now it can go around and it can hop from lily pad to lily pad as it's completely an adult. Isn't that awesome too? That's very cool. So that's the complete cycle of a frog. And after it's a frog, then the frog would go ahead and lay eggs again, and then the cycle would start all over, right? Because a cycle is something that happens over and over and over, like we learned in our water cycle. So that's the life cycle of a butterfly and the life cycle of a frog that both go through metamorphosis, okay? That's so now I have a little art project. Usually I split the videos up into two, but because we have Easter on Sunday and I want to share with you guys some Easter dyeing art projects, I'm gonna do it in the same video. So hang on tight. I'm gonna move my phone so you can go ahead and you can see my butterfly art project, okay? You won't need a lot of things. You actually need some paint and some white paper, scissors, and some glue, okay? So hang on tight, I'm gonna move my phone so you guys can go ahead and see. So while I set up, maybe you guys can go ahead and you guys can go find, you guys can pause the video if you want, and you guys can go ahead and you guys can go find some paper and some paint and some scissors and some glue, so you guys can go ahead and you guys can see what I'm doing, okay? So I'll give you a few minutes if you want, or you can just pause it, and then when you come back, you can be all ready. So here I have some white paper. Okay, and I have some red paper, but it could be whatever color paper that you want. It doesn't have to be red. And then I have some paint. I have some light blue paint, and I have some darker blue paint, but whatever color paint that you have will work. It could be 2 colors. It could be more than 2 colors. It can be 3 colors. If you want it to be 3 colors, really you can use as many or as little as you want. There's butterflies that have lots of colors, and there's butterflies that have less colors, so you can really make your butterfly your very own, okay? So all we're gonna do, we're gonna start with a white sheet of paper, okay? And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fold it what we call hamburger style, okay? So don't fold it the long way like this, so it's long. Fold it the short way like this, okay? And what that's gonna do, that's gonna allow our butterfly to look the same on both sides. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna fold it, see? So then you have 2 pieces, okay? Okay, and then you have one side that opens, and you have one side that doesn't open, right? It's stuck together. So what you want to do is when you draw your M, we're gonna draw something that looks like an M. You want to start at the side that does not open, okay? Because if you don't, then when you cut it, it's not gonna be together. So you want to make sure you start at the side that is closed, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna draw something that's going to look like an M. Okay, so I'm gonna do mine. You show me what an M looks like. Oh, that one doesn't work. Let me get another one, please. Okay, you can do it with the pencil, you can do it with the marker. So you're gonna draw an M. Kind of looks like an M, or maybe like 2 hills. Okay, I'm gonna show you mine. You see, so I started on the side that doesn't open. You see the side that opens, it's up top right here. So you want to start your butterfly here, the side that does not open, and go ahead and draw your M. Okay, and after you draw your M, go ahead and grab your scissors. Make sure mommy and daddy say it's okay for you to grab your scissors. And then you're gonna go ahead and you're going to cut your M, okay? just take your time. You can go ahead and cut it. Nice and slow on the line. Remember how you grab your scissors, right? Your one thumb is going to go in the little hole and 3 fingers are going to go in the one that's a bigger hole. Okay? I'm just gonna finish cutting my M. Okay? And there it is. So then you're gonna have the right side that looks exactly the same as the left side. You see? They look exactly the same. Nice job, guys. Okay, so with another piece of paper, okay, it could be a different color paper or it could be the same white paper and you can just color it a different color. If you don't have different color paper, that is fine. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna draw a long oval, the size of the paper, okay? Because that's what we're gonna use for the body of our butterfly. Okay, so I'm gonna do it on mine. I'm gonna show you and then you can do it on yours, okay? So this is what it has to look like. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna draw one long oval. Kind of looks like a worm, right? You see? There you go, and that doesn't have to be perfect. Just do your very best. That's what we're gonna use as the body. Okay, so then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut that out. Oh, there are my scissors. Silly me. I don't know where things go sometimes. Okay, so just go ahead and cut that out. And then we're gonna put it aside, okay? Because we're gonna use it later. And we're gonna actually cut one more thing and you can cut it out of the scratch pieces of the paper that you're cutting now. Because butterflies have 2 little antennas usually at the top. So with our little strip that we use, we can just go ahead and cut a long little strip. Watch. Okay. And then you can just cut it into 2. So you can have 2 antennas. Okay. And we're gonna use those later. So you can put your body on the side and you can put your antennas on the side, and we'll use those in a little bit when we assemble our butterfly. So what's cool about this is that we're actually going to make a symmetrical butterfly. And remember what we said symmetrical means? It's the same on one side as it is on the other. And sometimes if we were to paint our butterfly open like this, we might draw or paint different things on each side. Okay, so if we do it the way that we're gonna do it now, it ensures that both sides are the same. So you can just go ahead and you can put something down in your area so it doesn't get messy on your table. I just have a piece of paper. Okay, so you're gonna put your butterfly down on it so paint doesn't get everywhere. And then with your colors, with your paint colors, you can go ahead and you can drip them on your butterfly, or you can go ahead and you can use a paintbrush. It's up to you, or whatever you would like, or your mommy and your daddy say. I really like dripping my colors, so I'm going to go ahead and drip my colors, and I might do both. I might use dripping and I might use my paintbrush. I'm not sure yet. Depends on how I'm feeling. Okay, so we can go ahead and open our paints. I got brand new paint, brand new colors. So I got them open them, and now they're kind of tricky. Okay, there you go. Okay, so sometimes you gotta shake them. Okay, so I'm going to drip some of the light blue, and then I'm going to drip some of the dark blue into there, and we'll see what we get. Okay, so just drip it on one side. I only want you to drip it on one side. Do not drip it all over your butterfly, okay? So you're gonna drip on the top and you're gonna drip on the bottom of just one side. The other side you are going to leave blank, okay? Because it's going to get painted when we do our next step, okay? So go ahead and you're going to just drip some on. I'm going to drip some on mine. doesn't want to come out. There you go. Okay, and I'm gonna drip some of this color on the other side too. Okay, so I just dripped it on one side. You see that? The other side is blank. Now don't drip it top and bottom. Don't do either both sides here or both sides here. It has to be one top and one bottom. So one side has to be completely blank, okay? And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drip some of my blue. Maybe on the spaces where it's white. Okay, so there's mine. So now what I'm gonna do is that fold that is right in the middle, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna fold it again, okay? So this is where it can get kind of messy because if you do too much paint, it'll all kind of squeeze out of the sides. And it's okay if it happens, but that's why you wanna have something at the bottom so that we don't make a mess everywhere, okay? It might get in your hands, but you can just wash them off afterwards also, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fold it, and then we're going to rub it so all of the paint spreads. Okay, so go ahead and fold it and then rub. Make sure you rub good so all of the paint just spreads in there. You see I got a little that came out on the side there and it's on my finger, but it's okay. We can just wash it off later. Sometimes art can get very messy. Okay, so just go ahead and rub, rub, rub. Make sure it gets spread everywhere. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and open it, and it should, what do you think is gonna happen when we open it? Do you think they're going to be different sides or the same sides? That's right, that's what we've been talking about the whole time. So they should be the same on both sides. So we're gonna go ahead and open it up. Wow, so pretty. Okay, just do it carefully so you don't rip it. Not rib it, so you don't rip it. And look at that. Wow, how beautiful is that? Look at all of those designs and colors in there. That's amazing. Okay, so that's it, and it's the same. You see, it has these two spots right over here, and it has the same ones right over here. It has the same spot here as it has there. So it's symmetrical because it's the same on both sides. So now you're gonna let that dry a little bit before you go ahead and you put on your body and your antennas. I have one that I made earlier that I'm gonna show you guys how to finish off so you don't have to use the wet one. But you guys at home can let it dry for a little bit before you continue to yours. So here I have one that I made earlier, and I used different colors on mine. I used green on this one too, but it's the same on one side as it is on the other side. So what you're gonna do after is you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna take your body and you're going to glue it on right in the middle. Okay? And then you're gonna take your two little antennas and you're gonna glue them right at the top. And then you can go ahead and you can draw a happy face and you can decorate your body if you'd like as well. And there you have a beautiful butterfly. And if you fold the wings, once it's dry, you can fold the wings. Right, they'll flap. This one's still a little bit wet. You see? And then you can stick them maybe on your windows or in your room, and they can be beautiful spring butterflies that you created, and you can tell everybody about the cycle that they go through as well. Okay, so make sure you have fun with that. Remember that your art is always your art. It's never wrong. So you do whatever feels right and whatever you like to do. I hope you guys like that, and I'll see you actually very soon in our dyeing eggs video. I'm excited for that one too. I love you guys. Remember, bye.